जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंदा जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा श्री चैतन्य मंगल की जय। श्रील लोचन दास ठाकुर की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I welcome you to this week's Sri Chaitanya Mangal session. Today is May 24th, 2025, and we are reading from Srila Lochan Das Thakur's Sri Chaitanya Mangal, Adi Khanda, Janma Lila. In the last session, we read Song 1. That was session number 20. Today is session number 21, and we will read Song number 2. So in Song 1, we saw how after all the associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared on the earth in Navadvip, then now it was time for the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So in that we saw that Saci Mata became pregnant and everyone could see the spiritual effulgence in Saci Mata. Not just her neighbors, but even the demigods could see, the Nagas, the various human beings. And according to their understanding, each person concluded differently. Somebody thought this is the supreme Brahman. Somebody thought this is Lord Narayan himself who has entered Sachi's womb. Someone thought this is just some spiritual effulgence, like that. And as Sachi Mata became, as her pregnancy advanced, she was becoming more and more effulgent. Day by day, each day, her effulgence was increasing. And as her pregnancy was progressing, and as she was becoming more and more effulgent, the ecstasy and the spiritual love of the people was also increasing each day. They were all becoming more and more ecstatic. Then we also saw how one day when Sachi Mata was 6 months pregnant, Sri Advaita Acharya visited their home, and he was much older than them. He was, like a father in age and very respectable. So when he came, they gave him a seat to sit on, and Sachi Mata was bathing his feet, washing his feet. And then all of a sudden, there were all these ecstatic symptoms in Advaita Acharya. His eyes turned red, and visibly, there were these ecstatic symptoms. Then he got up and he started, circumambulating Sachimata and started chanting mantras in glorification of the Lord. And they were thinking, what's going on? They asked Advaita Acharya the reason. And he said, you will know in time. That's all. Then he applied sandalwood paste to the womb of Sachimata. He circumambulated several times, offered obeisances, and he silently left. He didn't say anything. And now she became 100 times more effulgent after this incident, 100 times more than what she was already before. Finally, when she was 10 months pregnant, there was a lunar eclipse, and everyone was chanting Hari, Hari, Hari in the entire universe. Amidst that chanting, Lord Gauranga appeared. Then we saw the beautiful description of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, the ecstasies of Jagannath Misra and Sachi Mata when they saw the baby, and how all the ladies came and they were completely enchanted by the beauty of Lord Gauranga. And they concluded that this must be Krishna of Goloka only. He has descended to this earth. So like that, song 1 ended. Now we will continue to read. Song 2. Jagannath Mishra was overcome. His words were choked with emotion. Quickly he invited his kinsmen and performed a great festival for his son. He earnestly tried to make everything auspicious. Bliss filled Sachi's house. No one had the power to stop singing Lord Gaura's glories. So also we saw, so Mahaprabhu appeared in the evening, at moonrise, not evening, at moonrise. On the Purnima, Gaur Purnima, when there was moonrise, the Lord appeared. So it was night time when everyone was visiting. So many people were coming and going. The demigods were also coming in disguise. And there was music being played and chanting was going on. All that was happening in the night. So the next day, he invited all his relatives and performed a great festival. Actually, like Krishna also. Krishna appeared at midnight. Timings are a little different. And the next morning, so that night after Krishna appeared, Vasudev carried Krishna to Gokul. So then the next morning, Nanda Maharaj celebrated Nandotsava, the appearance of Krishna. So here Jagannath Mishra also held a big festival for his son. He invited his kinsmen and performed a great festival for his son the next day. And he tried very sincerely to make everything auspicious. Bliss filled Sachi's house. No one had the power to stop singing Lord Gaura's glories. Glory, glory, glory. The 4 directions were filled with bliss. Like all you could hear was Jai, Jai. They were so happy. They were so ecstatic. All they could hear in the 4 directions was Jai, Jai, Jai. Ecstasy everywhere. The whole city melted with bliss. Hundreds and hundreds of saintly ladies came. They brought gifts of rice paste and red sindoor. So on this festival, which was arranged by Jagannath Mishra, there was bliss everywhere. literally the entire city of Navadvip was melting with bliss. They were in such ecstasy when the Lord appeared. So when a baby is born, many ladies come. So saintly ladies, the chaste ladies, many came to Sachi Mata's home. Hundreds of saintly ladies came, and they all brought gifts, auspicious gifts, like rice paste and sindoor, red sindoor. With love and bliss, placing her son on her lap, in a voice choked with emotion, Sachi Devi said, "Please give us the dust of your feet. Please give us the dust of your feet. Please give us your blessings. Bless us, saying, may this child live long." So, like this, Sachi Mata was praying to the ladies who came, that please bless us, means bless all of us, my child and me and my family, like that. What is the blessing she's seeking? She's saying, with love and bliss, placing her son on her lap, in a voice choked with emotion, Sachimata said, please give us the dust of your feet. So she's begging for the dust of the ladies who had come, and give us your blessings. Us means to me and my child. You give us your blessings and bless us by saying, may this child live long. Please bless us, saying that may this child live long. So see, she's praying for blessings for her newborn child. Who is that? Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Saying, even though he's not our child, now the ladies, they are saying, even though he is not our child, we still think of him as our very own. Because this is the Supreme Lord. Every living entity has a relationship with the Supreme Lord. Not just a relationship, that's our most intimate relationship. The Supreme Lord is our most intimate relationship. He is our real friend. So, every devotee, not just every devotee, every living entity has a relationship with the Supreme Lord. So when they saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were not just seeing as a child that is born to my neighbor. Every living entity could see, this is my best friend, you understand? So the ladies are saying, even though he is not our child, we still think of him as our very own. He is mine. Like that we feel. All the ladies saying this, they gave their blessings. They were saying, to protect his sweeter than nectar body from any calamity, he should be named Nimai. Saying this, they named him. Why Nimai? Because Nimai is coming from the neem tree. You know, the neem tree keeps all evil spirits far away. When there is a neem tree in the courtyard, it will ward off all evil spirits. Generally, newborn babies are very vulnerable to, because they are so innocent, newborn babies, helpless condition, so they are very vulnerable to attacks by evil spirits. Same with mothers also, mothers who just give birth. But if you have a neem tree, the neem tree wards off all evil spirits. So he was born under a neem tree. If you go to Yogapit is the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Mayapur. You will see there's a big neem tree. Under the neem tree, they have made a small temple with Jagannath Misra and Sachi Mata with baby Nimai in the lap of Sachi Mata. That is the place where Mahaprabhu appeared. So that neem tree, or maybe it's the descendant of the original neem tree, that neem tree is there. So the ladies said, to protect his sweeter than nectar body. His body is sweeter than nectar. So to protect this body, you should name him Nimai. Nimai, right? One who took birth under the neem tree, Nimai. And this will protect him. And saying this, they named him also Nimai, like this. So this happened in the festival, the day after. So he was born in the evening, the night. The next day morning, the ladies came. But so many people were coming to see this baby. On the 8th day, Ashtakalai gifts were given to please the children. So these are the various rituals that are observed in Bengal when a baby is born. So on the 8th day of the baby's birth, they give special gifts that are given on the 8th day. Okay. So Ashtakalai gifts were given. Then on the 9th day is a blissful festival with music playing and everything. So they were observing all the rituals and all the ceremonies according to the tradition. Day by day, Sachi's son grew. He was like a full moon walking on the earth. Mahaprabhu was like a full moon. Like that means complete, most beautiful, most charming. So he's walking on the earth. Is he walking already? Not yet, but he's here on earth, because usually where do you see moon? Moon is in the sky. But now you see the moon here on earth and he's moving around. Those who carry him, they're taking him around. So he's like a full moon that's walking on the earth. His two eyes were splendid with black kajjal. So also little small babies are decorated with kajal to protect them from any, again, from evil, evil, they say drishti, right? Like people may look at babies with some evil vision like that. To protect, this kajal is applied. Any inauspiciousness, to protect against any inauspiciousness. So his two eyes were decorated with black kajal, mascara. He was graceful with Gorochana tilak. He crawled on his hands and knees. That means he's growing up gradually. Months are passing now. He's crawling. He crawled on his hands and knees. He smiled gently. With unblinking eyes, Sachi and Jagannath watched their wonderful son. As he's growing, they're just watching their wonderful son. Sachi regularly washed her son's body and anointed it with turmeric and scented oil. Massage, right? Little babies, you do massage of the body, because then the body, the bones and the muscle, they all become strong. So they do that massage. So regularly, and after massage, leave for some time and then you bathe the body. So regularly she was doing this. She was massaging the body, giving bath, applying turmeric and scented oil on the body. Her heart filled with love, she kissed his cheeks. Saintly Sachi was very fortunate. Day by day, moment by moment, the bliss in the Nadiya's villages grew. Just like when she was pregnant, each day as her pregnancy was passing, Sachi Mata was becoming more and more effulgent and everybody's ecstasy was increasing. Now, after the Lord appeared, as each day is passing and as he's growing each day, the bliss of the people in Nadiya, not just people, everyone, right? The bliss in all the villages in the district of Nadiya was growing each day more and more. Not just day by day, moment by moment, the bliss was just increasing. They were so blissful, they were not aware of time also. Generally, sometimes we forget whether it is Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, or is it 21st, 25th. Sometimes we may forget the dates. But in the case of the residents of Nadiya, they didn't even remember which month it was. Can you imagine? They didn't even know what day of the month it was. Okay, they didn't know what day. No one knew what day of the month it was or what day of the week, right? Or whether it was day or night, they couldn't tell. Is it day or night? They couldn't tell. They were so absorbed in the bliss of ecstasy. of love of Godhead. Overcome with ecstatic spiritual love, people forgot themselves. House after house in Nadiya's villages became filled with bliss. Everyone's heart was filled with bliss. Every home, every family was just simply filled with bliss because of the presence of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Overcome with ecstatic spiritual love, people forgot themselves. House after house in Nadiya's villages became filled with bliss. No one was mindful who was a man, who was a woman, who was a child, who is an elder, who is blind. They had, they were really, it was as if they were out of their bodies. They didn't know if it was day or night, if it was Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, if it is which day of the month. They had no clue. Even they were not aware if the person in front of them is a man, woman, elderly person, child. They were overcome with love. Everyone was wild with peerless bliss, thinking Lord Gaura's face was like a full moon and his form had conquered Kamadev. The young girls would wildly leave their duties at their homes. So the young girls, of course, he was a little baby, but when they saw the face of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, they thought that this beauty is even defeating the beauty of Kamadev, who's supposed to be the most beautiful person in this material creation. Everyone becomes attracted by Cupid because he's so beautiful, so attractive. But when they saw Gauranga Mahaprabhu, the girls would go so wildly mad that they would drop all their duties at their homes and run to see Gauranga Mahaprabhu's moon-like face. Not that they would go once in a day, no. 3 times a day, the village girls ran to see the infant Lord Gaura. Morning, noon, and evening. They're just looking for an opportunity to just run. They have their work at home, isn't it? Girls are engaged, helping in the kitchen, cutting vegetables, maybe cleaning and different things. So, but they would be eager to go and see baby Gauranga. So they would just drop their work and they would run. 3 times a day, they would just be running to see little Gauranga. Let me see, they would say. Because there's so many of them. Let me see, like that. Placing the infant Lord on their laps, the hairs of their bodies would stand erect. They would go into such ecstasy when they would take little Gauranga on his lap. They would be so blissful. They would get goosebumps. Their hairs would be standing on end with ecstasy. In this way, day by day, moment by moment, everyone was full of bliss. Lochan Das, whose only hope and only desire is the feet of Sri Narahari Das, thus sings the glories of Lord Gaura. So this was the second song of Janma Lila. So we started Adi Khanda. In Adi Khanda, there are chapters. The first chapter we read was Janma Lila. In Janma Lila, there were 2 songs. So we just read the second song today. Now we'll go to the next chapter, Balya Lila. So what is Balya Lila? Janma Lila means right after appearance. Balya Lila means from ages 1 to 5. So up to 1-year-old would be Janma Lila. After birth, up to 1. Then 1 to 5 years is Balya Lila. This is song 3, continuation. So even though the chapters are changing, the songs will continue. For the whole Adi Khanda, the songs will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. And then they will be sorted into various chapters. So first 2 songs are Janma Lila. Now the third song is Balya Lila. Day by day, Sachi's son grew. To Sachi, he was like a shower of nectar. To what shall I compare him? Srila Lochandas Thakur is saying, what can I compare Gauranga Mahaprabhu to? I will not compare him to anything. I have no power to do it. Right? I don't see anything with which I can compare Mahaprabhu. Still, my restless heart says, I will give a comparison, right? I cannot stay without glorifying his beauty. To glorify his beauty, I have to give some, simile, some thing to compare with, so you can understand how glorious he is. I don't have any power to compare his beauty with anything. I don't see anything nearly as close to Mahaprabhu's beauty. But at the same time, I cannot just remain silent. My heart is so restless. I I will give some comparison. And then he begins. His face was like an eternally full moon. So we see full moon that comes once in a fortnight. Every 2 weeks, there's full moon. Yesterday was Ekadasi. 4 days from yesterday or 3 days from now, we will see. So alternately, once we'll see full moon, the following fortnight, we will see new moon. That means only once in a month you see full moon. Normally, once a month you see full moon. But Mahaprabhu's face was like an eternal full moon. At every moment, you are seeing a full moon. Who doesn't like to see the full moon? So Mahaprabhu's face was like an eternal full moon. Even persons blind from birth would run to see him. What's that? People who are blind from birth, they ran to see Mahaprabhu's full moon-like face. This is the influence of Mahaprabhu. On his lips, a half smile rested. Half smile. They say Chavanni Muskan, right? Half smile is very attractive. So always he had a half smile on his lips. He was like waves in an ocean of nectar. So it, it he was like an ocean of nectar, and his half smile was like the waves in that ocean. Very attractive. What is Srila Lochandas Thakur doing? He's comparing the beauty of Mahaprabhu. So he's saying his face is like an eternal full moon, and his half smile is like the waves in an ocean of nectar. His reddish eyes were flooded with nectar. His eyes were reddish. Right? Normally we see white. Mahaprabhu's eyes were reddish. In fact, wherever we see light color, like our palms and our soul's eyes, these were all red for the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna and Gaurang Mahaprabhu, same person. That means they were so delicate, right? So soft, so delicate. They were reddish. So his eyes were reddish and they were flooded with nectar. The nectar black kajal decorating them were dams built to keep that flood of nectar from overflowing. So his eyes are a flood. Flood, what happens in a flood? The water crosses the boundary, isn't it? That's a flood. When there is flood, the river water crosses its boundary and comes inside. It just overflows and it just occupies the land beyond its boundaries. It just goes and flows everywhere, fills up all land surrounding the river. So similarly, if the eyes are compared to a flood, that means that's the water. That means it's just going and flooding, it's overflowing. Flood of what? Of nectar. So when you look at Mahaprabhu's eyes, it's like nectar, flood of nectar, which is just going to, flow over. But to stop that flood, you know what people do when they expect a flood? They put these sandbags to create a dam to contain the flood so that it won't come, the water won't come inside the rivers. They stack up sandbags to stop that water from flowing inside. So that's like a temporary dam or a bank. So Mahaprabhu's eyes are like a flood, and the black kajal is like the dam, which is meant to stop the flood from overflowing, to keep it in his eyes. His reddish eyes were flooded with nectar. The nectar black kajal decorating them were dams built to keep that flood of nectar from overflowing. Saintly Sachi and fortunate Jagannath lovingly gazed at their son's face. Can you imagine? 24 by 7, they are drinking this nectar, his moon like face, and his nectar flood eyes, uh, and surrounded by the black kajal, and his half smile, which is like the waves in the ocean of nectar, and they're constantly glancing how much nectar they must be drinking at every moment. Saintly Sachi and fortunate Jagannath lovingly gazed at their son's face. One moment he laughed, another moment he cried, another moment he wanted something, another moment he sat on Sachi's lap, another moment he rode on a swing. These were the childhood activities of Lord Gauranga. He would laugh, he would cry, then he would demand, I want the moon, like that. Or he would just sit in the lap of Sachi Mata. Sometimes he would want to jula julna, swing. Keeping his feet on Sachi's breasts, like a golden vine moving in the wind, he swung back and forth. Hmm? Like, so if the mother, either in her lap or when she would stretch her legs with the head on that side, he's laying and the feet of the baby are on the breasts of the mother. And then he's swinging back and forth like a golden vine. Why golden vine? Because the complexion of Mahaprabhu is golden. So, like a golden vine, he's swinging back and forth. His eyes were very long. His eyes would almost touch his ears. Or I think, yeah, the ears. So, his eyes were very long. His loud laughter was charming. He would laugh loudly. His loud laughter was charming. On his lips flowed a stream of nectar. His nose was charming like a parrot's beak. Normally, we see Mahaprabhu's nose is compared to a sesame flower. Very, very charming. But here, we see that his nose was charming like a parrot's beak, it is said. His symmetrical cheeks were effulgent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 months passed. So now the baby is 6 months old. So in Janma Lila, it's just up to Janma only, birth and the next day festivities. In general, it is said. So 1 to 5 years means the first year and the 5th year, up to beginning with the first year. That means after birth, the first year, all the way to the end of 5th year is Balya Lila. Okay. So now only 6 months have passed in this way. First 6 months. Then came the day of the Namakarana, name giving ceremony, and Anna Prashana, first grain ceremony. Sometimes they do both on the same day, Namakarana and Janma Prasana. Jagannath Misra performed a great festival for his son with many. Nowadays, we are expected to give the name to the baby before leaving the hospital, isn't it? When you give birth to the child in the hospital, you have to give the name. You have to have the name. Some people keep the name ready even before the child is born. And if you don't know the gender, then you wait until the baby is born and then you have to give the name because they'll prepare a birth certificate. So before you leave the hospital, you have to give the name. But here we see 6 months have passed. After 6 months, now there is Namakarana, name giving ceremony. Until then, they would call them, I think, like Babu, Babia, like that. Like darling, like that little baby. But yeah, the name giving ceremony is done 6 months after. Jagannath Misra performed a great festival for his son. With many ornaments, he decorated his son's golden body. Lord Gaura wore bracelets on his hands, armlets on his arms, a pearl necklace on his neck, a golden belt on his waist, and anklets or ankle bells on his feet. His palms and soles were anointed with red hingula. There's some red colored decoration, I think, like an ointment or something. That was applied on his hands and arms. No, on his soles and his palms and soles. There was red hingula. His lips were like a banduli flower. I don't know what is banduli flower, but probably like bimba fruit that we read. It is reddish. Bimba fruit is reddish. So his lips were like banduli flower, they say. His eyes were like red lotus flowers. Again, red. Eyes were like red lotus flowers. His fair limbs seemed to be washed with lightning. So his limbs were washed with lightning. That means they were so striking. When you would see his limbs, they were so effulgent and they were so fair, golden, that when you looked at them, it was as if you're looking at lightning. His limbs were so effulgent, I have no power even to look at them. Because of the effulgence, it's not even possible to look at him like that. He was given the name Vishwambhar in that ceremony, in the name-giving ceremony. Gauranga Mahaprabhu was given the name Vishwambhar, which means the maintainer of the worlds. Vishwambhar, Vishwa, universe. One who maintains the universe is called Vishwambhar. And the other meaning is also Vishwambhar means one who floods the universe, right, with Krishna Prema, with the holy name, Vishwambhar. So he's the maintainer of the worlds. The learned followers of Goddess Saraswati say this word is a name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vishwambar is the name who maintains the worlds. Lord Narayan, the Supreme Lord. So Vishwambar is the name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he would now, 6 months passed. So he's trying to walk now. So one moment, holding his mother's and father's hands, he took 2 unsteady steps and then fell down. So he's learning to walk. So with the help, holding on to the hands of his mother and father, he took 2 unsteady steps, but he couldn't balance and he fell down. He made a child's experiment in a few half-spoken syllables, right? Like dada or papa, like that. So he's making some, half-spoken syllables as a child's experiment. His broken words were like nectar waves in an ocean agitated by the moon's rising. On full moon days, the ocean tides are very high. The moon becomes agitated. There are very high tides whenever there is a full moon. So like that, he was like an ocean of nectar. And when he spoke that totli boli, right? Like broken words when he's speaking, it was so sweet, so nectarian. He was already an ocean of nectar, but his words were like the high tides in that ocean of nectar that rise when there is a full moon. Just see the description of Srila Lochandas Thakur. His broken words were like nectar waves in an ocean agitated by the moon's rising. Day after day, he walked in the courtyard. To the world, he brought a soothing coolness. He destroyed the world's feverish sufferings. So Mahaprabhu is walking in the courtyard. Simply his presence there has destroyed all the sufferings of this world, and it brought soothing, like pacified everyone's hearts. It brought coolness to the whole world, and it destroyed all the feverish sufferings of the world. His feet, worshipped by Goddess Lakshmi, now rest in the earth's lap. Now he's walking on the earth, so his feet are resting in the earth's lap. Before, when he is in Vaikuntha, his feet were in the lap of Goddess Lakshmi. She's massaging his feet. Now the same feet are resting on the lap of Mother Earth. Filled with love, the earth goddess now forgets herself. Oh, what good fortune! I have the Lord's lotus feet in my lap. So filled with love, she forgot herself, Bhumi Devi. In the sky, one moon shines, but on the earth, 10 moons are now shining. There are 10 moons on the earth. In the sky, there's only one moon, but on the earth, there are 10 moons. What are those 10 moons? We'll see. Because of their light, even the blind now have eyes. Because one moon, when there is full moon, oh, how much cool moonshine it emanates. How pleasing that moonshine is, isn't it? One moon. And that is far away. Actually, from Bhagavatam, what do we understand? The moon is far, far away, actually, much far away than the sun also to us. The moon is really far away. But that one moon, even though it's so far away in the sky, it's giving such nice cooling moonshine. Imagine if the moon were on the earth and not one, there were 10 moons simultaneously. How much, moonshine must be emanating, and what would be that effect? So goddess earth, the earth goddess was feeling, Bhumi Devi was feeling that there are 10 moons on the earth shining simultaneously. And because of the light that is coming from these 10 moons, there's so much light that even blind people can see. See, even if we have eyes, can you see in the dark? We cannot see in the dark. Our eyes don't have the capacity to see in the dark. Eyes have the capability to see, but unless there is light, they cannot see. There has to be some light. And if there is dim light, you can only see something, there's blurry vision, some hazy vision you get. But if there is clear light, bright light, you can see things clearly, isn't it? So here it is said, when there are 10 moons, there is so much light, things are so clear that even blind people are able to see things. So now let's see, what are these 10 moons? What are the 10 moons that are on the earth now? We know there is Gauranga Mahaprabhu, but earth goddess is seeing that there are 10 moons. Those 10 moons are Lord Gaura's fingertips. Fingertips. His fingertips. 10 moons. 10 fingers and tips. 10 moons. Seeing them, the blind-hearted sinners have become fortunate. Of how many millions of moons is Lord Gaura's face? Moon, the king. Now, simply the fingertips, the 10 fingertips are 10 moons. What to speak of the rest of the body? What to speak of his face? Oh, I cannot even compare. Lochandas Thakur is saying, his fingertips are 10 moons, and because of the light coming from those 10 moons, even blind people are able to see. And what is the effulgence coming from the face of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu? I cannot even compare. Of how many millions of moons is Lord Gaura's moon face or face moon, the king? That means, you see, now we hear sometimes king of Brahmanas. What do you mean by king of Brahmanas? King of Brahmanas means like Indra. When you say Indra, Indra means he's the leader, right? Vrajendra means what? He is the best of all the Vrajvasis. Vrajendra, the leader of all the Brajvasis, he is the best of all Brajvasis. Vrajendra. The other day somebody was asking about, okay, that's different. Okay, Surendra. Surendra means he's the best of all Suras, isn't it? So, if there are 33 crore demigods, okay, then he's the leader of all the 33 crore demigods. Okay, that is Surendra. Now, about Gauranga Mahaprabhu's face, Srila Lochandas Thakur is saying, his face is compared to a moon. But His face is such a full moon that this moon is the best of millions and millions of moons. He's the king of all other moons. The face of Gauranga Mahaprabhu is, his face is a moon. Face moon, he's saying. His face moon is the king of how many millions of moons I cannot say. I cannot even say. That means he's the best of millions and millions of moons. Whatever effulgence you get from millions of moons together, the effulgence coming from his face is more than that. Like that. He's the best of all moons. And effulgence means what? It's not like the sun that it's like hot effulgence. The moon's light is very, very soothing, very, very pleasing. That is the effect of Gauranga Mahaprabhu's face. So his 10 fingertips are 10 moons. Now what to speak of his face? I cannot even say. Of how many millions of moons is Lord Gaura's face moon the king? I cannot say. Offering them, like bowing down before, offering them his bow. That means his pranams. Who is offering pranams? Kamadev. Kamadev means Cupid. Kamadev worships Lord Gauranga's eyebrows. You know why? You know what does Kamadev carry? He carries his bow and arrow. And anyone he shoots at, anyone who's shot by the arrow of Kamadev, he becomes struck by material love or lust, isn't it? He becomes attracted, he or she becomes attracted. So Kamadev is going with his bow and arrow. But when he sees the eyebrows of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he surrenders. His bow has no power. He is completely, what do you say, conquered by the attraction, by the beauty of the eyebrows, which are like bows. Huh? So if Gauranga Mahaprabhu stood there with his bow and arrow, what power does Kamadev have? So seeing the eyebrows, he puts his weapons down and he surrenders. He offers obeisances to the two eyebrows of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So in this song that we are reading, Srila Lochandas Thakur is just describing the beauty of baby Gauranga Mahaprabhu. First of all, he said, I can't find any comparison. He said, but still I'm feeling restless. I have to say something to glorify. And this is how he is comparing the beauty of Mahaprabhu. Offering his obeisances, Kamadev, offering them his bow, right? He's surrendering his bow. He's surrendering his bow, his dhanush, to the eyebrows of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu and is worshipping those eyebrows. What more can I say? The moon of Lord Gaura's mercy. So we saw the moon of his fingertips, we saw the moon of his face, of his eyebrows. Now the moon of Lord Gaura's mercy cuts the darkness in the heart into pieces. That darkness has no power to resist. The next moon is Mahaprabhu's Kripa, his mercy. The moon of Gauranga Mahaprabhu's mercy, moon, what does moon do? It emanates such light. It is dissipating darkness. The mercy of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, when you receive the mercy of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, then it cuts the darkness in the heart to pieces. That darkness has no power to resist. Who has the power to describe Lord Gaura's childhood pastimes? Although they seem like the actions of an ordinary child, they can purify the whole earth. They may seem like, oh, he's just a small child, a human child playing. But actually, his activities are not of this world, nor is he an ordinary child. His activities are purifying the whole earth. In a short time, Lord Gaura's saintly elder brother Vishwarup became learned in all the scriptures. Who has the power to describe his glories? His younger brother is Vishwambar, Lord Mahaprabhu. Day by day, Lord Gaura manifested his mercy. Hearing of it, Lochan Das feels his heart become filled with bliss. So we can stop there today. We completed, we actually read 2 songs, Song 2 and Song 3. Tomorrow we can read Song 4. Thank you all so much. Shri Chaitanya Mangal ki Jai. Shri Lochan Das Thakur ki Jai. Shri Gaurang Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Samavita Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki Jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna. Thank you. I'm ending the